Well, what positions do you disagree with?
Well, I put a comment, and everybody was telling me to go and and come up because I commented and I said that I wanted you to give your stance on single moms because you do post a lot of um I don't want to say hatred, but like kind of the negative side of it. It's the side I haven't seen as a single mom. So I don't know your stance on it before I disagree with it. But I do disagree with the what I've seen on the channel. They're all good videos and they are truthful, but there's never like a when you say you hold both sides accountable, there's never like a balance with the single motherhood. And I don't know if it's just the manosphere because as far as I know, pretty much everybody in the manosphere is like hate single moms, you're trash, all that jazz.
I don't think they hate single moms. No, they may hate the entitlement some single moms have. For example, some I've seen some single if you guys have watched Kendra G's show, some single mothers may have four kids from four different men, but they require the new man to be able to provide for her four kids. That's entitlement.
So I don't know what your stance is. I would like to hear it before I say that I disagree with what you post, but I just don't care for the
I
constant
got,
posting of
but
it.
I gotta know with what you've seen. I gotta have context for the
The last one
position
you
that you want
posted
me.
was I'm sorry, cut
Go
you off. The
ahead.
last one you posted was the lady with the like six kids, six baby daddies.
Oh
I saw the
shit.
one I know I saw the one with Jordan Peterson, I think where the woman like paternity fraud, that was crazy, where she like had that dude with those two kids and then he found out he was had an illness to where he never like
Yeah.
could have kids or something like that. And
Yeah, but
so
that's paternity fraud. That's a little bit different than single mothers.
okay, well I consider her a single mom. Okay. Um
Okay.
so and then
Yeah,
like
but
when
that was
I when
paternity fraud. Yeah.
yeah, it was legit. But when I go into the comments, then I make a comment about, man, these women are trash. But there is another side to being a single mom. Then of course I get your followers who are like, we're watching you, and I don't
Ah.
I don't know your stance on it. That's what I'm saying because from what I hear, it's said that single moms are kind of at the lowest of the totem pole for dating. But then on the flip side, you and other men promote the get therapy, work on yourself. So it's like, why am I working on myself if I'm at the lowest part of the option pool?
Before even MTR goes in, yeah, you can work on yourself as a single mom. I mean, you got kids, right? You definitely need good to be in a good mental to have good mental health for to be able to raise good kids. But that doesn't mean that the new man should accept you with your kids. And that doesn't mean you are entitled to demand a man who's going to take care of your kids, especially when the father is still in the picture. Now, if you're a widow, you lost your husband, that's understandable.
Okay. So we can start from any given point. Generally, so like let's say I have someone that's calling me for like coaching or something like that. And let's say that they ask me, do should I date this single mother? And you got to look at every situation within the context. If they're young, if they're beginning stages in their life, they haven't figured out their life yet, they got a lot of places to go within life, I suggest that they not. Why? Because you're taking on her as well as her child. You're taking on a bill that you don't necessarily need to put within your life. You're putting an additional barrier within your life, and it wasn't your decision. So I make sure
Okay.
that men understand those options because, like I tell on the channel all day, is that you have to be very intentional about the steps that you are taking in life. And if you do not understand what this is and what it can lead it down to, I mean, and also for me specifically, I'd rather not a pre-made family.
That's facts, man. That's he's important because some guys fall into the whole I'm in love thing. Okay, she got kids, but I'm in love, or she loves me. We love each other. But did you guys know that apparently, let's say if you guys move into the same house, so you as a man, you got no kids, but now you have met this single mom. You guys move into the same house, you're helping her raise the kids. Do you know if you break up, she can put you on child support for those kids that are not yours. So some guys do not know those situations. But also, if it gets serious now, you have to think about the fact that all the money you are making, now you have to divide it between you, her, and the kids. Because if she's, throwing a birthday party for the kids, she expects you as her boyfriend to buy something for the kids. But also, you can't discipline the kids because they'll talk back, yeah, my daddy, and shit like that. So some guys have to be aware, but most guys are not aware.
Okay, so that's just your personal
So
stance
those are
on.
my. So those are. We could start from those two positions, I guess. What do you
Okay.
disagree with those two positions?
Well, I guess because I'm older, I don't agree that anyone coming into my life would be taking on that extra burden, and I guess I just don't understand it because it's never happened for me in dating. And really until I started like watching your videos and Kevin Samuels, I wasn't aware of how big a problem it was. And I don't know if black men just weren't voicing it or they never voiced it directly to me,
No,
that it's
they're
an
not
issue.
voicing it. No, before this space, listen, I grew up in the 90s. Oh, we're kind of like the same age, but I grew up in a time period where it was men were shit on for not dating single mothers. And I remember this specifically. And men are shamed for the decision to choose not to date single mothers, right? Like, and I think because of the information in the space, now dudes can finally say, yes, this is what I've been actually thinking, da da da. But then also they have talking points to some of kind of the negative repercussions, right? Like, and I don't think necessarily that there's situations where there's not any influence from a child, because then you gotta, you're right. Like, let's say you guys want to live together, right? Where's the child gonna go? Child's gonna live with y'all. Is he ready to be a father? Is he ready to be a stepfather? Right? Like, what stage of life is he in? Right? Like, because now
Yeah, I think that's the issue with some single mothers. They always say, I don't need a man to take care of my kids. We're just dating, but they never think about the long term. Okay, so what happens? Especially if you're a single mom and you're dating seriously with good intentions for a long term relationship or even maybe get married, eventually you and the new man are going to stay in the same household. So what happens then? Are you saying you still don't want him to take care of your kids? I mean, he's going to pay bills, and if he's paying bills, the kids are going to be a part of those bills. Whether it's the power they use, it's the cable they use, the Wi-Fi, the food he buys. It's not like he's just going to buy food for him and you. He's going to buy food for everyone in the household. So eventually, he's going to take care of the kids that do not belong to him. Now, in the beginning, you guys are dating, you don't live in the same household. Yeah, for sure, he won't be able to take care of your kids. But long term, some women don't think about the fact that eventually he's gonna have to take care of me and these kids, you know.
he has to put baby or child things ahead of his own goal, his own life. And I think that when we consider the value of men and that most men, all men have to create their value, they have to. They have to use their 20s to be as accurate in their life as possible, to make the greatest decisions as early as possible, strategic as possible, so that they can rise and ascend and build a kingdom so that they can let the drawbridge down for the highest option, the highest suitor, the highest bidder. And if you settle too early with another bill, it can significantly slow down or hamper that process. And I think like it's okay for dudes to say that they could like you, but they also don't want a family.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I say, that's fair. But then, if that's the case, then should we assume that all single moms should just kind of just end their life once they have a child?
No, and no, it doesn't mean your life ends. It just means you have to be realistic. The same way men who don't have money have to be realistic about the type of woman they'll be able to get. We're just gonna be honest. It's the same way short dudes, I mean, I'm 5'8", I guess I'm short as well, right? But as short guys, we have to be realistic about women preferring taller guys We have to be realistic about that. You can't be a 5'8" dude and think you deserve a woman, or a woman who is 6 or 5'9" or 5'10" is just gonna accept you. We gotta be realistic. So it's not that because you got kids, it's the end for you. No, it's the fact that you have to be realistic. Hey, listen, my situation I'm in is going to probably reduce my pool of viable dating candidates. The same way applies to men. I don't have the money. I'm not that tall. So I don't have hair. I'm bald. So maybe my dating pool is gonna be a little bit smaller. So I can't be delusional.
I
because
mean, I'm
we're being
not
told
saying
now
that
that
they should
no,
end their life.
and
I
not
mean,
and not
I've
no
never
no no
said
not.
that. Yeah, I'm like,
I'm
well,
asking.
this went, this took a dark turn.
I,
This took a dark turn.
I worded that completely wrong. And I just heard how it sounded. I apologize. But like I said, when I watch the videos and your videos about women who are single moms who are trash, it's shocking to me because I don't see any of those. So I wonder, like, does he see any videos or do you see any proof of single moms who have rehabbed themselves, went to therapy, and were still able to not even garner a high value man, but just a reasonable partner? And is there any
I'm
content on that?
oh, if you find some, send them to me. I mean,
Okay,
have you seen any?
I could say myself, but I don't view a video myself. So
Well, listen. But that's the thing. If what you're saying is that there's examples of this, but you don't know any examples of it, then does it exist? It's not to say that there's not success stories within the space. What I'm saying is that the mantra in society is that men must sacrifice to get what they want. And they
Facts.
must then sacrifice early in their life to be in love. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you should recalibrate how men are thinking to create the best version of men. And then later on in life, they can let down the drawbridge to the highest option within that.
That's fact. But you know what, guys? I'm actually gonna be. I'm gonna even take it just a little bit different. I believe most men would take a good-looking, kind, feminine single mom, even if she even has 3 kids, as long as she's not entitled, like doesn't nag him. She's a good person to be around, good conversation, good energy. I'm gonna be honest. Most guys would take the deal, but I think where most guys have an issue with it is the a woman with kids is as entitled as a woman without kids. I think that's where most guys have an issue with. Because the guy will be like, okay, she's a good woman. All right, sure. She's a single mom, but she's good. She talks to me nice. She cares about me as well. She appreciates what I'm bringing to the table. So I think most guys will be okay with it. But I think the entitlement and the attitude from some single mothers, not all, I think that's what rubs most guys the wrong way. But if everything was all right, most guys would not have an issue with dating single mothers and even marrying them. I'm gonna be honest, because some guys do it.
okay, okay, I'm gonna
And
work
also, I
on
think that it's, but also I think that it's important. But yeah, but send me. I don't know. I mean, if you don't know if it exists, then I don't know how you would document that. I mean, and then make it in a way where it's like entertaining that people would actually want to watch it. But to be honest, I don't even know, right? Like, because here's the thing: like, my pops was raised by a stepfather, right? So so I am readily aware that men can step up to the plate
Mm.
and be fantastic fathers. Absolutely. But I just make sure that men are making the best decisions for themselves to increase whatever goals or joy or happiness that they want within their life. And most modern women today won't even look at a dude making median salary. So you're telling me not only just you're not looking at me with median salary, but then it's you and another child at the same time, or 2 other children, or 3 other children. So, because I want to be clear, it's not to conflate looking at a video of a chick talking about I got 6 kids with 6 baby daddies kind of mixed in with this conversation. Because here's what I think is happening is that someone looks at a video like that and then you feel as if I'm talking about all single mothers.
Well, I look at the video and then I look in the comments and then I see like dudes, like I said, the comments are just, they're not even about the video. It's just like all single moms are trash. Why would anyone want to date a single mom? And it's just like, when did this become a part of this? So
I mean, people in the comments are coming from separate walks of life, and maybe even some guys have had bad experiences with single moms, for the most part. Uh, you have to take the comments with a grain of salt. But all in all, I think most guys, like I said, don't have an issue dating a single mom. But I think that some single mothers have entitlement. They think they deserve this much. They're not realistic in what they want. In other words, some single mothers think they do you a favor by introducing you to their kids. It's like I'm doing you a favor. You're getting a 2-for-1 deal. And I'm like, no, I'm getting a 2-for-1 bill. Actually, 2 for 2, because I'm gonna pay for you and for the kids at some point. So it's like, the entitlement, the attitude. But I'm sure the nice single moms out there who get married every day, So at the end of the day, men and women, both of us just have to be realistic in where we are on the dating marketplace and just not be entitled and just be good people to each other. And I guarantee you will get whatever you want as long as you're good to good people. Because if you're good to bad people, then they may take advantage of you. Anyway, man, shout out to MTR. Links down below what you guys think about that. Some of you I know, guys, in the comments, you're probably been with a single mom, you know. But I would also love to hear about any man who has had a good experience with a single mom. Not because I believe not every single mom is bad, obviously. So if you're a single mom watching this and you're the unicorn, comment down below the things you have done for your man to choose you over women without kids, because it's a very hard choice. But by the time a man chooses a woman who has kids over a woman who does not have kids, that says something about that woman's character. Now, some guys do it because they got no options. All they have options for is the single mom. But for the guys who got options and on their grind, I think it speaks to the character of the single mom. All right. Shout out Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews.